I'm on my way here today, and I saw for the first time in years one of those low riders.
Oh yeah.
Right, but right behind it was like a normal truck. It was a little higher. Hey there, and welcome once again to the Rural Juror Brewery Tour.
Well said.
Thanks, I'm Jay.
I'm Seth.
And today we're feeling a little Kolsch. No? Is this thing on? It's on.
It's
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Those don't make it any better. They don't make the jokes better. They make them louder.
And to start us off today, we're actually going to go to a beer that comes from Germany to make it an
All the way?
authentic Kolsch.
All the way from Germany.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's the extent of my German. Wasserfest. This one is the Goffel Kolsch. Apparently they've been brewing this one since 1908 in Cologne, Germany, which is a town I hear smells good. It's a little darker color than I expected from something that I would have thought of more as a lager than an ale.
Yeah.
Tons of bubbly, frothy head.
Yep.
Action in the glass. That yellow though, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal clear. Crystal
Absolutely.
clear, but a deep yellow.
Much deeper than I expected as well.
Right, it's closer to the yellow of food coloring than it is to the yellow of a typical lager.
A lot of apple,
Wow.
a lot of bread,
And lemon?
lemon. The crisp green apple though. It's just, wow, that's amazing.
It's redolent with that scent. Like,
Yeah.
It's so rich.
Oh, but dark flavors, really nice.
Smooth.
Deep malts, very creamy.
And notice how I said smooth, as if it wasn't smooth, but it actually is really smooth. And that finish is, and this is out there thinking, I know, but grape freezy. Just a touch of grape freezy on the finish of that. And I'm sure it just comes from the apple and me having some confusing messages in my brain like I got from when I was raised as a child. But nonetheless, this has so many fruit scents to it. The fruit flavors that come out of this really surprised me.
But the taste is very different than the smell. I really got a lot of bright crisp on the nose, but on the flavor, it's really malty, deep, dark.
I get a touch of hop, but I also get some long-term bitter at the end of the flavor for this one.
You can't get much more authentic than a German Kolsch to start.
Right, and apparently it's only authentic Kolsch if it comes from Cologne, Germany.
So after that, it's just a Kolsch style.
Right, much like champagne.
So that would make sense because up next is the Clean Cut, inspired by Kolsch.
And this one's from Ottawa, right?
Yeah, from Beyond the Pale. Now, Beyond the Pale is in P-A-L-E, not like a pail of water.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, the expression is also P-A-L-E, but I like how you clarified the homonym.
Well, you just never know.
Speaking of clean cut, there's a couple of clean cut. Oh,
Speaking of Clean Cut,
all right. Just some good, clean fun is the slogan on this one. Independently brewed in Ottawa, and this is inspired by Kolsch.
so a little bit lighter in color.
Yep. Still the yellow presence, though.
Yeah, and I would say that this is typically the Kolsch color that I would get in North America.
I guess we'll find out soon when we have another one after
Yeah.
this. But a frothier head, less bubbly, more frothy.
But mine is almost already gone. It
Wow.
started out as big as yours. And
No,
now
it did not.
It was as big as yours.
It was not. Mine
is-
was much larger. Evidence is right here. Mine was larger, and mine doesn't fade as quickly as yours does.
Well, there's age in there.
And we're the same
I
age.
poured mine first.
No, you poured mine first.
No, I'm pretty sure.
No, mine's older than yours.
No, I'm pretty sure.
You're wrong.
Anyways.
Okay, the video's going to show it right now. Mine's older, mine is bigger, and mine lasts longer.
Getting a little bit of yeast, a little bit of bread.
Yeah, that white bread scent specifically, and a little bit of bitterness on the nose already.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that bitter hops. You're right.
But the glass itself, I'm not seeing any action in there. The head belies that it's going to be a more bubbly drink.
But still, again, those nice dark malts. The hop is a little bit more grassy.
the bitterness comes sooner,
Yes.
and that malty presence is lingering throughout it. It's right there at the beginning, it's right there in the middle, and as it fades away, it remains there.
And it's surprising how deep the flavors are when the color is still so light.
I'm getting no fruit off this, whereas the previous one I had apple and I had lemon.
Yeah.
But there's no fruit here whatsoever. This is this is closer to a lager in the traditional sense with malt.
I would say it's closer to a Pilsner because of the hops in it.
I don't think it has as much presence of hops that some Pilsners would have, but I do have the hop in there for sure.
Okay. I'm certainly getting a good amount of hops in this. I'm
glad you've given it a moral characteristic.
Yeah. A good amount.
It is good. It is a good thing.
It is good.
The amount of hops.
Yeah.
I am rarely shamed. Let me finish. I am rarely shamed for my beard, but this can graphic puts me to shame. This is the Beardmore Kolsch.
Yeah.
And man, he is a beautiful, luscious beard and a heck of a handlebar mustache.
And look at that head of hair.
Moving on. This is from Furnace Room Brewery, which is in Georgetown,
I
part
heard
of
it's hot
Halton
there.
Hills.
Heard it's a hot place. Furnace room.
You stepped on my introduction for that joke.
Furnace room.
That joke.
Yep.
Furnace Room Brewery,
hot
hot
in
place.
It's getting hot in here. I'd like to grow my beard.
Regardless, this beer has an IBU of 8. I do not expect this to have the bitter finish that others have had up to this point in time, but this clean, crisp lagered ale, according to their description here, should be a pleasant experience because you have to trust a man with a beard like that. That takes dedication, commitment, and a certain element of slothfulness when it comes to growing it out.
Slothfulness.
This one has an element of haze that the previous beers didn't. They were crystal clear, but this one also has some floaters in it. Look real close and you're going to see those, man.
Yeah.
You might need your glasses. You want to borrow?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, I'm good. This is a little bit darker yellow.
And bubbly head.
Yep.
Dissipating bubbly head.
Yeah. Very big bubbles too.
Well, when it's little bubbles, I tend to say foamy. When it's big bubbles, I tend to say bubbly. When there's no bubbles, I say no head. And that's a sad one.
Is it? Bread, yeasty. I'm actually getting a little bit of that apple on this one.
Yep. Touch of apple, touch of lemon.
Yeah.
Very subtle though compared to the previous scents that we've experienced. But this is more in line with the traditional scent of a lager than the previous two.
The scent of a lager?
Yes.
I was going to say
No. I spoke authoritatively,
You're
therefore
right.
you don't want to argue.
Okay. I actually was thinking this smelled very closely.
But I
You're right.
spoke authoritatively.
I didn't listen to you. I actually think this smells a lot like the German one that we started off
Whoa,
with.
you can't say Germans have a smell.
Yes, they do.
No,
The beer.
you cannot say that
Why not?
because they wear cologne. Woo!
Next episode might be a solo one for Seth.
Are you getting a hint of the sweetness you might associate with marshmallow?
I'm getting lots of apple. I'm getting a little bit of pear. And I'm getting a toasted something. So I might give you a toasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
Not a full marshmallow, not a raw marshmallow, but a toasted one.
Okay, I don't like it raw anyways. I am getting an element here that is a little caramelized. And maybe that's where I'm getting the association with marshmallows, but that finish has some sweetness to it that is rich in that caramel flavor. Okay, it's a subtle richness.
It is.
But nonetheless, and then it fades to bitterness. That IBU of 8 is not representative of what I'm tasting.
I would agree. I think the IBU, sometimes those are a little bit off from what I
Indeed, context is everything.
Yeah, sometimes in my palate, it's a little bit different than what I taste. This one, I'm really getting a lot of that apple, that bright citrusy, not citrus, I guess I shouldn't say citrus. It's just, on this one, I'm getting a lot of apple.
I like that fruitiness that comes through on the Kolsch. Otherwise, I'm just drinking something that's like a lager, and I want a little more to it. So this has more depth of flavor and more flavor experience that I can enjoy.
Okay.
And I really like beers that have more flavors, beers that have more complexity, that are interesting and intriguing. And I really like the beard on this Beardmore can. I don't think I'd ever describe myself as a fan of Kolsch. It's not something I would seek out in the beer store, but having them one after the other, giving all of the subtleties, I'm really glad we did this, because now we have the chance to be able to taste it in the future. I can look for that apple, or I can look for that other flavor that might be present there and understand what I'm drinking. And it's so good to explore each of the flavors for that reason alone.
Absolutely. And it's so cool, like you said, to drink them in that succession and to have multiple of the same one. I think it's absolutely one of the perks of our job. Thanks so much for watching the Rural Juror Brewery Tour.
Well said.
Thank you.
I'm Jay.
I'm Seth.
Check us out next time when we try some more beers.
Absolutely. Make sure you like and subscribe below.
And go to the website, ruraljurorbrewerytour.com, to see the blog entries where we review different beers every week, to see past episodes, to find the links to buy us a beer.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Buy us a beer.
Sponsor the show.
Buy us a beer. Buy us a beer. Buy us a beer. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Buy us a beer.
Slothfulness. Isn't that the same as saying lazy?
A little different.
Is it though?
Well, slothfulness implies an element of intent. Lazy implies passivity.
But when you move so slowly, isn't that lazy?
No. You can move slowly with intent.
You know, sloths actually can move fast.
I did not know that, because
When-
I have seen Zootopia, and that's everything I
No.
know about sloths.
No, when it's actually breeding season, they
Oh,
will
I can move fast during that time too.
They do, and they'll swim. Did you know that a sloth? Imagine something that.
Welcome
barely
to
moves.
Animal Facts,
Sure.
our new YouTube show.
Yeah, they'll actually swim to get to some nookie.
Some sloth.
Some. Clean cut.